Hi, welcome to this second live session in numerical analysis course. Uh, so let's if you have any questions, you can ask us. Okay. Some questions are there?
One question.
Yeah. So thanks. So we got one query regarding spline interpolation in I think it is regarding one of the assignment problems. So let me go to the assignment problem and see what is that question. Perhaps it is the assignment sheet number 9 could be. In any case, the assignment problem is about spline interpolation, and it is one of the choices or options of that problem is that the spline function is a polynomial. That is what is the, I think the option 1 says that the spline is a polynomial. This is not correct. In the definition of this spline, we only told that spline is a piecewise polynomial. It means suppose you have 3 subintervals. In each subinterval, when you restrict yourself to that subinterval, then the spline function will be a polynomial. But globally, if you see, it is not a polynomial, because in each subinterval it may take a different form of the polynomial, right? But a polynomial by definition should be written as a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on plus an xn, right? That's a polynomial function, right? This should hold for all x in wherever you are looking for, right? Suppose you are looking for this function in an interval say a b, then the function is a polynomial if it can be written in that form, okay? And if a n is not equal to 0, then it is a polynomial of degree n, right? But here what happens is we are subdividing the interval a b into say n number of subintervals. In each subinterval you have different polynomials. Therefore, if you see in overall in all the intervals, in the full interval, in each interval it is a different polynomial. Therefore, if you see in overall in the full interval, it is not a polynomial, it's only piecewise polynomial. Therefore, option A is not a correct choice, okay? So, that is what is, that is why it is not a correct option, okay? So I think Anup asked this question whether why it is not correct. So this is the reason, okay? So it's only a piecewise polynomial, but it is not a polynomial. You can see it in the definition. So now I don't remember what is that Bharti madam is telling. There is one more query unanswered in the forum, please answer it. But I don't have the question here. So that can you just resend that query, because that is not visible here, madam. That query is not visible. Only this Anoop's query that you have sent is visible here. Okay, so somebody else is asking the convergence towards any root. If I take initial guess in the neighborhood of the second root, whether it will converge towards the second root. See, this may be, it's from this query it is not very clear whether they are asking for which method, because in the nonlinear equations we have introduced many methods. The student is asking regarding the convergence of one of these methods, not very clear which method it is. The student is asking, if I take the initial guess in a neighbor root of say one root, it will, suppose it is converging to that root, and if I take the initial guess in a neighborhood of the second root, will it always converge to the second root? Okay, that's not always true. For instance, let us take the Newton-Raphson method. I will just geometrically show you. Suppose you have a function like this. Suppose the function is like this. Okay, so this is one root, say R1, and this is another root, say R2, and suppose I think that this is the neighborhood of R1, and I may think that if I take my initial guess anywhere in this neighborhood, say x0, then it should converge to this root R1, but it may not happen, because if you recall, the Newton-Raphson method will take the point of intersection of the tangent line with the x-axis. Maybe here it will happen like that. Let me just go a little ahead and take right. So let me take the point little farther from here. So I'll just go here, and take my x naught, the idea is that it should get thrown away from x naught or 1. So now your x1 will be the point of intersection of the tangent at x naught, okay, point of intersection of the tangent at x naught to the x-axis. Therefore x1 will be this, say. Then what happens is the next iteration will start converging towards R2, x2, and then it will start converging to R2. Therefore, the query as per this, if the initial guess starts from one neighborhood, will it always converge to that root is not true. You may start from even very close to a root, even then you may go very away. Let me give you another example. Suppose I have a function whose graph looks like this, okay. So this is R1 and this is R2. Now I am starting very close to R1, say my x naught is here, very close to R1, but I may be just thrown away from that. This is my x1, and now I will take my second iteration like this. So this is my x2, and then x3, and so on. It will start converging towards this root, okay. Although I started my initial guess very close to R1, if by any chance the slope of the function is almost 0, very near to that root, and your x naught happens to be at that point, then there is a chance that the next term of the iteration may get thrown away from that root, okay. So that's an explanation here. And then there is another query. I originally derived SWIS expression as this, but here it is written little different. In original derivation, what is SWIS expression? What is that? I don't know. Written dw by. The question looks not very clear for me. Yes, I remember seeing this question, madam, but it's not very clear for me. And in the previous lecture, the U matrix was written at corner element. Maybe I'll go back and see this lecture and try to see what this student is trying to ask. I was trying to figure out what is this question, but I could not clearly understand this question. That's why I could not answer this, I guess. Maybe I will put one more effort to see what is exactly the student is trying to ask. Maybe otherwise we can ask the student to reframe his query and send it once again. So that, I tried to answer this query. This query came long back and I tried to answer it, but I could not understand this question. Maybe we can ask this, I will ask the student to reframe his question so that I can understand what exactly he is trying to ask. I was trying to see also what is SWIS expressed as. SWIS means what, I don't know. maybe I should see the lecture 19. It may be in lecture 19, the U matrix was written with corner elements as -1 in the place of +1. Please correct. So that may be a typo. I think I will see the lecture 19 and see whether it is really -1 or this. I don't remember seeing this query. I will get back to the student once I go back. I will just see once lecture 19 and then I will try to write to the student. Yeah. Anyway, for this plane, I will try to write to the student also. This also I will write, and I will just go back and see, and I will ask at least what. Yeah, I remember this query, but I was not able to understand it. So then I thought that I will just write to the student, but I forgot it. Okay, so there is no other queries. We will close the session. Thank you very much.